Beth Agnew here. This is a short teaching video for TCN 701, the Technical Communicator. We had a question about the procedures assignment and how to do procedures when there's more than one way of doing something. And I'd like to show you a couple things. I could have just easily answered the question for the person who asked it, and I think I did, but it's a really good opportunity to present this little teaching point to everybody, just so that you know. Remember, in technical communication, we consider our user, and we always want to give our user the best practice. We want to provide a way that leads to the best quality, certainly one that leads to the highest degree of safety, and something that is easy for the users to learn and remember. I've taken this screenshot in an application called Snagit. This is from TechSmith, and it is a wonderful little graphic program. It allows you to take some really amazing screenshots and do some nifty things with them. So let's assume that you have a Word document and you're trying to show in your procedure something about updating a table of contents. So you can see over here that I have a graphic already, and I've done a screenshot. Now what I've done here is with Snagit you can do this. You can do this probably with print screen as well. Might be a little bit trickier, but what I've done is, you know that when you hover your mouse cursor over a function, you get a tooltip that pops up, and here's actually the tooltip. So I've captured both of those. You can see this area update table is highlighted, and here's the tooltip. So that's pretty interesting and useful for the end user. What I've done here as well is I haven't taken the whole top of the document. I've just done a selective screenshot, which you can do in Snagit quite easily, or you can do the whole screen and then cut it out afterwards. I've taken part of the document, and Snagit has some kind of fun tools that allow you to manipulate your image. So if we just go over here to image, we've got draw, image, hotspots, tags, view, and share. You can see here I've got no effect, but we could actually do a rip effect on the graphic to show that it's been ripped out of another document. Now the width on this is pretty wide because it looks like there's a pretty thick edge here. I don't really think it's that necessary. Here's one that's a little, this is shaded, and we've got a pretty thick shading here. You know, you could do other things, a tear up, you know, shadow. This one's pretty wild. We used to use this tear from time to time. I don't think it really needs that. You can see that it can quickly start to look cheesy if you're doing that with all of your screenshots. So I would recommend just leaving it alone. The fact that we've split across a word and across a button here, the user is smart enough to figure out that there's more to the document over here. So we don't need to worry about it. If we had actually made the division here, a discrete division where there is a natural division, then it might have been a little bit more confusing. But you know, I like to let the user know that there is definitely something else going on past there, and we've just cut it out. So here is the one that I would probably put in the user guide. Now there's another option as well. You could go to just the ribbon itself, or the function bar. And here we don't have the tooltip, we don't have the highlighting. You know, to help the user see that this is the function that we're talking about, we would probably have to add something, maybe some highlighting. That's terrible, I don't like that. Or put a box around it, something like that. Draw a little box. Or, yeah, we could do that. That would be all right. And again, we could probably even just select this part here. As long as there's some kind of orientation as far as the user is concerned, they can see that with this button, they know where this table of contents is, and of course it's the reference tab. So we don't really need this half of the screenshot. This part here would be quite all right. So I would show that in the manual, either that or this other one back here with the tooltip, depending on your user and how much they are familiar with these types of applications. Now, the question that came up was, what if I'm just showing this one little icon? You see here what I've put on my ribbon is the icon for the update table. So rather than having to go to references, update table, under table of contents and explain that, I could just point out that icon. And here's a way to do that. See, there's the icon. There's enough information here, table of contents, that they could find it, and there's an arrow pointing to it, because otherwise how would they know what they should look at when it's on the ribbon like that. So you could do that too. You could even get down to the point where all you've selected is just this little icon. I'm just going to copy that and then paste it. Actually, I needed to paste it new from clipboard. I don't know, I'll undo this. There we go. So there we are. And then let's make it bigger. Zoom 300%. So you could do that. Probably that's about maybe half that size is what you'd want in your documentation. So you see you have various options for showing information. If it's going to be confusing to your users with just the words, then put in a visual, but make sure your visual doesn't add additional confusion. Make sure that the visual illustrates exactly what you want to illustrate and helps your user really understand what it is you're trying to document. So there's Snagit, there's our little icon, and a couple of different ways of doing that.